no, 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 no. No, 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 no.
With its intent that it doesn't dissipate, it's constant. It was enough, just the first. I mean, you brought it up in the shir. It's enough for the first shuv. What was intended from the rotzu, after the rotzu, the first shuv would remain with all of its power and intent, and would not need a renewal. The Eibishter doesn't do it that way, but you could see something like that.
See what we need to understand in this, we say in the intent. The principle in the Rotzu is that the absolute truth with all the Giluyim remains that there is only one truth. With all the intents. Let's take it in our arena. A shliach goes out to some hick place, and he knows that he is there b'shlichus from them, and he gets involved in his work. He knows that he's the b'shlichus from them. The involvement in his work is due to the fact that he knows that he is shlichus for them, but he only knows it. He is not one. He functions as a separate entity. When he comes to the people and says, "Put on tefillin," he doesn't tell them. The Rebbe tells you to put on tefillin. Put on tefillin. Why should I? He's functioning on the platform where he is. The fact that he knows in the background, in the back of his mind, does not give him that reality. And without that reality, he cannot really continue. Because in the purity of the Oyed, there is nothing but one truth. let's project this shliach is matzliach. He's successful, and he built a big Chabad house. The moment he becomes aware that he successfully built a big Chabad house, and that he is this great shliach, he loses all chayas. He can pursue his work, but it's not the same thing at all. All right, we'll continue. We are in the second paragraph on page Yudalad, exactly 6 lines from the beginning of that paragraph. The line begins with the word shuv.
I asked yesterday about the intent. Maybe that was the question you were talking about.
Go ahead. What's your question?
You said I said something. You said that's sort of right, and basically the chayas is given. It's not that it runs out; it has a specific amount which is given, and then that's the that's right.
What's your question? Forget about yesterday. What's your question?
I was wondering what was lacking in my explanation.
What was your explanation?
No, because I was saying I thought it was that the chayas ran out, and then he
So
had
I explained that
it's
chayas
recharged.
does not run out.
Right.
It reverts back to its source. It doesn't run out. And I explained that chayas is an inherent truth. Lebedikait. Chayas does not run out. It doesn't dissipate. But let's say when we feel weakness, it's due to the goof. The goof needs to be replenished, but the chayas hanefesh that's in the goof doesn't run out.
Even the chayas and the goof, couldn't you say that that's with a specific intent, and then that when a person is tired, it means
the person is tired.
rest.
The tiredness is not in the chayas; it's in the goof.
Has the chayas become blocked? That blocked. In other words, in the example of the shliach, he starts out in a level of knowledge, which it's not his reality. He knows about it.
No, it is his reality.
Even at the level of he knows from where he came.
He knows from where he came. That's later. But when he first starts out, he goes exclusively because he's sent. He doesn't have his own presence.
So it's to the point where he becomes self-aware, so to speak.
There was many instances, but one was very clear. Where somebody was sent someplace and he said that I don't like that place. I'd like to be there. If that's kind of shlichus you are, you don't need to go.
Okay, so what interrupts that clear?
Nothing interrupts. It's the involvement in the shlichus.
Yeah. So is that the original what happened? The chayas, what is going on with the chayas in that involvement? During that moment of involvement, What is happening to the chayas?
You take an apple and say "Beri prihoetz."
Yes.
At that moment, you know exactly this is the Meibash's apple to put in your hand. Then you start eating it. And you eat it, you have to bite into it and chew it and taste it and swallow it.
Yes.
Are you still only involved in the Meibash's apple, or are you involved in your own processing of the apple?
Okay, so that's I'm asking, what is occurring to the chayas as you get involved in the apple?
The chayas at that moment is in the background.
Oh, okay. So it gets pushed to the background.
Yeah, because it becomes usurped with the process.
I don't know, what's the highest in that, Marshall? I don't.
That's the Meibash's apple.
Yeah. The fact that you're processing it, that's the main thing, but that the highest becomes secondary?
At the point when you're processing it, at the point when you're not even allowed to eat if you have other things in mind, because then it's dangerous. All right. So we on the line begins shuv. So this is the ongoing process, that there is a rotzu, followed by a shuv, followed by a rotzu. Ubehechrech loimar, thus it is imperative. In other words, we have a logical imperative that we must say sheyesh mibechinas hashuv beharotzu umeharotzu behashuv, that there is an element mibechinas. As we always point out, that bechina alludes to a presence that is not readily identifiable on a conscious and a tangible manner. But if you test it deep down, there is that element involved, and that was that mibchinas hashuv, the element of the shuv, there is also in the rotzu. Umehorotzu behashuv, and of the element of the rotzu there is in the shuv. Velochein, and for this reason, achar kol rotzu, after every rotzu, Yeshuv, there will be a shuv. Why? Because within the rotzu there is the element of shuv. V'yachar hashuv yirotzu, and after the shuv there will be a rotzu. Why? Because within the shuv there is a rotzu element. So this is going to be discussed, obviously, just to maintain, so to speak, a sighting of it, a handle of it. Within the rotzu there is the shuv. Very important to understand. The rotzu is that he is running to his source. In the desire to be with the source, there are two elements. There is, I like to be here. But this thing that I want to be here is not devoid of my own sense of myself. So that's not a real being together. Real being together means that you have nichlal, that you incorporate in the source, and you don't have any individual presence. Because if you have an individual presence, then you're processing the source through your own faculties. It's not a real connection. It's not a real thing. It's limited to your comprehension. Therefore, in this desire to the rotzu, why does he want? Because that is where the will and the intent and the connection between the source of myself really exists. That's where my origin is. My whole mitzvah is because he wants me, and therefore I'm running to that source. Therefore, but in this rotza there's a way in the shuv that you are there because of some kind of because of the intent and the shlichus of the mocker. He wants to connect to the real thing, to the kavanah. Even though that actually there's a cognizance, this is what I want, but deep down it is not this is what I want, but this is what you want. And therefore there is a shuv within the rotz. And the same thing when he goes back into the shuv. The shuv, there is the Ayin that this is the kavanah of the mocker of the sender. So yes, this is the kavanah of the sender. What is the kavanah of the sender mean to me? The sender. Therefore, there is the rotzu within the shuv. This is just an introduction to the topic.
But that we learn out from the word bechina. This was just
we don't learn. Bechina is just. We don't learn anything specific from the bechina. We say within that there is within the rotzu there is a shuv, and it's called bechina. Bechina. It is not that you look at the rotzu. There are two parts to it. There's one part. There's only rotzu. But inherent in the rotzu there is the element of shuv, the aspect. And inherent of the shuv there is an element of the rotzu.
Are you eating the apple that's shuv and digesting it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I followed how inside the Ratzu is a shuv.
This is
How you,
this is just wanted to point out there is that element. They're still going to be discussed. Okay, so he says Rak sheyesh b'zeh beis efadim, except that in this concept, in this principle, that within the rotzu there is a shuv, and within the shuv there is a rotzu. There are two ways that this can be understood. Or aleph, one way is sheharotzu maybe lidei shuv, that the rotzu brings you to the shuv. V'hashuv maybe lidei rotzu, and the shuv brings to the rotzu. The shuv causes the rotzu. The rotzu causes the shuv. Why? We said before that because when it comes to like you said that the rotzin ho'in soif is that there should be gil ho'ir. So the rotzu itself, the minute you go up to the ein soif, you recognize where really the ein soif is in the shuv. And the shuv may be the rotzu. Because what is the reason that I want to be in the shuv is because of the yatz. The Beis and the other oifen, the other manner of this incorporation is they do not bring about one another. It isn't that the rotzu brings about the shuv and the shuv brings about the rotzu. Rak only sheharotzu hu beifun kozeh, that the rotzu to start with is in such a manner sheyiya achar of shuv, that after the rotzu should be a shuv. Ve'ashuv and hu beifun kozeh, and the shuv is in such a manner sheyiya achar of rotzu, that after the shuv should be a rotzu. To start with, the shuv itself has in mind that I should maintain side of the Rotzu, and the Rotzu has in mind that I should maintain side of the Shuv. So the two Ifanim are, one is that the cause of the Rotzu is the Shuv, the cause of the Shuv is the Rotzu, or that not that the Rotzu causes the Shuv, but the Rotzu actually incorporates the Shuv. The Rotzu has in mind the Shuv, and the Shuv has in mind the Rotzu. There's a story with the Baal Shem Tov. Baal Shem Tov had a big chassid, I don't remember the name. This chassid had a tremendous desire to go to Eretz Yisrael. And he asked the Baal Shem Tov many times permission to go to Eretz Yisrael, and the Baal Shem Tov would not give him permission. Finally, he couldn't contain himself, and he decided he is going. So there are two versions that I heard, but the very simple version was that he went into the Baal Shem Tov and he didn't ask permission. He said, I came to say goodbye. Baal Shem Tov said, oh, good. I agree you should go to Eretz Yisrael. But I just want you to remain here for this Shabbos. The custom in those days, because they were traveling, the way they traveled was that they would start their trip on Friday, early Friday, so that they would have started the trip before, and then en route they would stop in the various villages and so forth. So he said, I want you to stay here for Shabbos, and I want that you should go to mikveh together with me Erev Shabbos. So he went to the. Of course, he agreed. He went to the mikveh. Then. After Shabbos, he's supposed to come in and say depart, and Hashem Tov said, no, why aren't you going? He says, I decided not to go. He says, why you decided not to go? So he said, because when I went into the mikveh, I saw my entire trip, and I saw on the entire trip how I'm passing everything, going through all the various villages and countries and so forth. And finally I reached Eretz Yisrael. And then in Eretz Yisrael I reached Yerushalayim. In Yerushalayim I reached the country, the Beis Hamikdash. And then I went to Beis Hamikdash. And I wanted to see the Kochi Kochi. Going to the Kochi Kochi. And it's empty. They asked, where is the Or? The Or? He told me, the Or is in Mesbus. So why do I have to go there so I can stay?
What's the other version?
Huh?
The other version.
The other version that he actually started going, and Baal Shem Tov sensed that he left, and he called him back and says, I agree you should go, but
I heard he had some job where, like, he said you should teach this there's a child, some Rav or something. He was supposed to teach him. He agreed to teach him for a short amount of time. And it was during that.
During that what?
During while he was teaching this child.
The crux of the story is the same. All right.
So that the Nimshal is the
you go to the Rotzu, and where is the real thing? The real thing is in the Shuv.
Or vice versa.
or vice versa. All right, vehoin and whom. So to understand these two variations of the system of Rotzu and Shuv. So the Indian this is like this. Vehine Rotzu v'Shuv ba'avodah. The elements of Rotzu and Shuv, how they reflected in Avodah. Hein Ahava v'Yira. These are the two elements in Avodah, Ahava and Yira. Ahava hu b'bchinas Rotzu. Ahava is in the form, has the element of Rotzu. Shehu hakir v'adveikus be'elokus, which is described with the experience and the drawing to kiruv adveikus, to be close, and dveikus to elokus, and the cleavage to elokus. Dveikus be'elokus means that, like dveikus. Dveikus means that the only thing I'm aware of is of this elokus. That's mean kiruv adveikus, and that's ahava. The yiro, and then there is also the other side, yiro. He b'bchinas shuv. This is b'bchinas shuv in a form of shuv, where the reason there is the yiro in general, yiro is not just a negative. I'm scared. Yiro goes along, is part of avodah. Yiro does not keep you away from elokus. It keeps you with elokus, but in a shuv manner. That yiro means that I cannot actually be connected, because this is overwhelming, and therefore I am going to be connected to elokus in the shuv manner, wherever I am. This is what yira. Bine be'ahava. So we are intent on explaining these two forms of Rotzu v'Shuv, whether one causes the other or one includes the other. The Ahava, as for example in the Ahava, which is the Rotzu element of Avodah, Yesh Shabo Mitzad Hakiruv Delokus. There is an Ahava that is the result of Kiruv Delokus, because of the closeness of Elokus. As in the example of Oihei Be'ohu, when you have two friends, Oihei Be'ohu, Haresibas Ho'ahavohi, the cause that flares up the Ahava is Hakiruv Shel Ha'ohuv, the closeness of the Ohuv, because the Oihev, the Mashpia, the Oihev, shows him special affection, Kiruv, and that brings about the Ahava. V'hu shemashpia loi, it is from the fact that he is mashpia loi, that he bestows upon him, umeitiv chaz le'ima, and he gives us good kindness with him. Oi mashpia le'hashpo ruchnis, or if he is mashpia to him, a spiritual hashpo, k'mei hashpo as ha-seichel u'kai gav, seichel or other type of hashpo. In all cases, that there is an actual gift of goodness that the mushpa receives from the mashpia. And that is because who bekiruv, and this all of these hashpoah is done bekiruv, in a manner of closeness. Shemaro leiponi bi'ahava bekiruv b'hashpoah, that he actually expresses and shows him an affection, because this hashpoah has to come in a manner of closeness, and therefore this brings about ahamot vetus. Okay, here's where we have to stop. So in Mishim tonight we are going to convene in our home, 679 Crown Street, 8:30 approximately.
Tonight is Yud Aleph Nissan.
Tonight is Dalek Nissan.
It's not a, you will bring a little bit
Very
later.
special day. Well,
Or
we'll mention
do you
it.
want to? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Yehuda Foster is hosting the Fabringen this Shabbos, and David Rabbinay is procuring all of the goodies.
You have plastics and plates and stuff like that.
I mean,
And who is sponsoring?
David Rabbinay is. Yes, he's
Yeah.
sponsoring.
Sponsoring and procuring.
Yeah.
So
But Yehuda's sponsoring the location.
I have
And
all
then
of the
Mashka.
plastics from,
Oh.
and I
Okay.
have Mashka there in the house also.
Okay, have a good day. We're going to do.
Do you need somebody? Can you bring it? Or, yeah.
Uh,
Can you bring it tomorrow morning here? Figure it out.
You're with
Yeah.
home?
huh?
Nam na 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 Yom nam nam na 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 nam ya nam na 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 nam I nam na